Does it seem to anyone else like it's getting harder to find a job? You submit hundreds of resumes online and get no reply. You've now got robots determining your future. People ghost you on LinkedIn. Interviews seem impossible. And now, certain percentage of jobs posted online are even rumored to be fake. Add to all of that those scam text messages that seem to be offering you a job. And it seems like making a move that advances your career is harder than it's ever been. One good piece of news about all of this is that you're not alone. We are all in this mess together. We recently ran a survey on our community and asked them what they're struggling with in their job search. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Welcome back to Career Protocol. I'm Angela Guido, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about why it seems harder than ever to get the job that you really want. I'm going to talk about why technology isn't making it easier to find the right fit, but actually much harder. And I'm going to share the secret to what's going to help you circumvent some of these challenges so that you can make the move you really want to make. At the end, I'm even going to give you an opportunity to join a call with me to talk about your job search, so stay tuned till the very end. All right, what does it take to actually get a job? Let's break it down and make it as simple as possible. There are two big steps to getting your next job. The first is earning the opportunity to interview. The second is crushing the interview. If you do those two things, you will eventually end up with a job offer. These two sides break down into two subcomponents. On the earn the invite to interview side, there are two big pieces. That's your resume and who you know at the company. On the ace the interview side, you've got show confident humility and self-awareness. Now, today, I'm not going to talk about the interview side of this equation. There are lots of other videos on this channel about how to crush your interview, how to make a genuine human connection, how to shine as your authentic self, how to tell a story, how to address a weakness. You can check out any number of the videos that we have here. I will post some of them in the description below, but poke around on the channel. If you have an interview coming up, congratulations, you've made it past step one, and we've got lots of great advice for you. So let's focus on the part of this that probably you're struggling with, and that is earning the invitation to interview. Now, you might have think that technology has made this easier, but in several ways, it's actually made our lives more difficult. I could talk about how ChatGPT and the advent of robo resume writers has actually compromised your ability to write an amazing resume, but I'm also not going to talk too much about the resume in this video because we have lots of other videos on this channel all about how to construct brilliant bullets on your resume, even how to format it. So check out some of the links in the description if you're working on building your resume. There's a component of the resume that, I'll just say this one thing. There's a component of the resume that really relates to the substance of your experience, to what you've actually done so far in your career. And most people take this entirely the wrong way. They think what I've done isn't that impressive. In order to stand out, I need to make the resume shine, or I need to like fudge reality, or it becomes like a never ending maze trying to figure out how to make your resume look right when you're doubting the substance of your experience. But the truth is, the substance of your experience has gold in it. You just need to find it. You need to learn how to communicate what you've done in your career in a way that shows actual results. So check out some of the other videos we've got about resumes. I talk a lot about that subject. Hopefully that will help you with the first component of earning the right to interview. But the second component is actually much more important in 2025. And that's the part of this process that is dramatically complicated and not simplified by technology. First things first, when I talk about who you know, I'm not talking about you need to go work for your uncle's company or your sister has to be the hiring manager. I mean that in general, people want to work with people they like. So, if a company has a choice between a total stranger and someone who is connected in some way to the community of that organization, they are going to go to that connected person every time. Not just because it reduces the reputational risk, the risk that the soft skills and the human connection component of your professional life isn't going to fit in with that culture, but it's also true that if someone at the firm can sort of vouch for you, then you're a safer candidate. This is just the smart thing to do. I mean, just think about it. If you're going to hire a plumber, isn't the first thing you want to do is find out who else has worked with that plumber? Like, talk to your friend and get their favorite plumber, or at least go to some website where you can read the reviews about local plumbers and find one that's been vouched for by others. It's just human nature to simplify these complex components of making decisions about other people by relying on the advice and the connection of others. So, what that means is that for the most part, to get invited to interview, there has to be someone on the inside that is advocating for you. This does not have to be a college friend. It doesn't have to be someone that you went to school with when you were 5. It can be someone that you met in the last week via internet networking. But this is the part where things get really challenging. And if you're like I was the last time I went through a job search, you probably don't love the idea of networking online, of reaching out to people that you don't know or through friends to find mutual connections down the line to begin nurturing relationships. But in fact, this part of your recruitment process is absolutely essential. We tell our clients, please don't apply for any job cold online via a website. Be sure that you're applying for positions that you've been referred to, where there's someone who has put your name in or someone who has sent you a job description who can actually vouch for you to be given the opportunity to interview. And it's really important that you have this voucher because, of course, firms are not going to interview hundreds of people. They're going to interview a handful of people, and they're going to extend that invitation to the ones that they think are most likely to be successful. And that brings us back to the whole point of you needing to have relationship connections. Now, you might think, "Hey, technology, doesn't this simplify things? I mean, I've got all my Instagram followers, I've got Facebook friends if you're Gen X, I guess. If you're out of college, you probably have a LinkedIn profile. So you're connected to the whole World Wide Web. Shouldn't that make networking easier? Shouldn't that make it easier to get referrals for jobs that you actually want?" And unfortunately, this is where technology is working against us. I read an article that said that the average LinkedIn subscriber had 1,300 contacts. So why is this harder? I mean, we have all these platforms, we have all these different ways to connect with each other. Why does it feel harder than ever to connect with new people via the internet? Well, just think about yourself. Think about how much time you spend at your computer and on your cell phone processing all the information that's coming at you. It's a lot. It's exhausting. So just think about how you are when you're on the internet. You're checking the essential things, maybe you're watching a cat video and something slides into your DMs that's someone you don't know, someone you don't really know what they want, someone who's maybe asking you for a little bit of your time. We've all gotten a little bit jaded with the easy access that strangers have to us on the internet. And if you're on the other side of that, it feels awkward to intrude on someone's solace in front of their computer to ask them to connect with you, to talk about their company, and to share their advice about their culture. That is, in fact, what you need to do through the form of an informational interview to begin making connections at companies where you'd like to have a job. These aspects of networking are so challenging for all of us, myself included, which is why I wrote an entire book about it. I'm going to link it in the description down below. It's called How to Network Without Feeling Like an A-hole, because let's face it, it doesn't feel great to reach out to strangers and ask for favors, but there are ways to do it in a way that will actually feel good to you and be much more effective. Because in the end, even though technology has dramatically changed our lives, the fundamentals of earning the opportunity to interview have not changed. The key is still people. So, if you're looking for much more in depth advice on how to build your network, grow your network, and leverage connections to help advance your career, please check out my book. It's available on Amazon. But I'm actually making this video in response to a need that we heard from you, our community. Too many of the people that we know and love in our network are really struggling to make a move towards an inspiring role where they can really have an impact and really express all that they have to offer in this world. So I've developed a program to help you make a move, to help you move from where you are now to the next step that you want to get to with confidence while building mutually beneficial relationships. It's called the Make a Move program. That's probably not a surprise. And on January 21st, 2025, you can join me for a free workshop in which I'm going to talk you through our framework to help you make an inspiring move, to earn the opportunity to interview with people who can open doors for you in a way that feels really good to you. The program also includes stuff about your resume and stuff about interviews, but our focus on the 21st will be the framework of how to earn that opportunity to interview. You can join me by clicking the link in the description below, look for where it says Make a Move Workshop, or through this QR code on the screen we have right here. Isn't that nice? And I will see you there. During the session, I'm going to be sharing several of the tools that we use to help our students maintain confidence through a long process that can be riddled with multiple setbacks, big and small. And I'll just give you a little sneak preview of what one of those tips is, and it's kindness. Kindness. You'd be surprised how effective it is when you're trying to make a move that aligns with your values. This year on this channel, we're going to do our best to respond to you, to respond to our community and make the content that is most useful and pressing and important to you wherever you are in your career. So if you want to chime in and tell me what I can help with, leave a comment and let me know how I can help you advance your career. We're going to do our best to create the content that will be most valuable to you. And I'll see you right back here at Career Protocol next week, where we'll be talking about other tools and tips to help you build a career you love and be happy at work. I will see you next time. What happened? Increases the likelihood. I forgot where I was going with that. 2025.
My brain, it exploded.
It's about expressing the value. Don't roll your eyes. You. Where I will be dishing out. No, I hate the word dish. Where I'm. It's like I got off the game. I got off my game. Okay.